Hi everyone, welcome back. It's been a while since I've made a video, but I finally made one. It is gonna be more of a rose gold theme, so I hope you guys enjoy this. If you know me, you know I love rose gold. I have a lot of rose gold accessories, brushes, my mirror, and I just think it's very complimenting on anyone. So I hope you guys enjoy. So I'm gonna be starting off with my eyes and my brows first because I am trying out a new palette. I usually do these like under eye mask treatments from Sephora. I have a Perfecting and Brightening Pearl Mask. I will also use the anti-fatigue and anti-dark circles. I mean, I could really use both of these, but I think I'm gonna do the anti-fatigue one because I did stay up until about 2:30 a.m. last night and I am exhausted. For my brows currently, I've been using this Anastasia pencil. It is the Brow Perfecting Pencil in medium brown. And I will also use her powder in Taupe because it does have literal medium brown in it and a softer color. So I don't really feel like I need to go any darker than that personally. I really don't use anything stronger than this as like, you know, a pomade or anything like that just because I don't want my brows to look heavy or to look too dark or filled in. I like more of a natural fill. So I'm gonna use a little spoolie on the end, brush upwards just to make sure everything is combed before I fill it in. And I tweezed these last night, which helps me know that they're where I want them to be. So taking this pencil, I'm gonna messily fill this in because I honestly don't need it to be too perfect. I just want to get the product where I need it. And then I will rely on concealer to make it clean and perfected looking. Do like more on my ends because that's where I feel like I don't have enough hair. I'm just gonna brush through and make sure that every sparse area is covered, like in between the hairs, a little bit in the front, and at the base of my brows too. So that way it looks more defined. So with a little bit of my own concealer that I use for my face and a flat tipped brush, looks like this. It is an old MAC one. Looks like it's a 212 or just any like flat tipped brush will work. These I feel are a little bit better for me. An angled one will work as well. Kind of depends what's closest to me, but usually I will pick up like a square tipped one. I will take my absolute time with my eyebrows. This is the one area I don't mind spending a lot of time because I do eyebrows anyways. For people that don't know, I do semi-permanent eyebrows that look like makeup. As opposed to microblading, it's not hair strokes, but just filled in. I just am used to taking my time and making sure that they look perfect, they look clean, and that's the one area that I pay the most attention to. So for this, I'm gonna aim most of my product in the back, kind of where my arch starts, and then just clean it up really slowly. And then this product, I just wanna make sure I blend it downwards, so that way it just kind of blends into the eyelid area. And I'll apply a little bit more later to my eyelid just to cancel everything out. And then with excess product, I'll use to carve out the top and then blend outwards. And this is where I would go in with a little bit of powder just at the tail end to make it more crisp and almost use it like you would with pomade, but it's just a lighter consistency. And just brush through. So now that my eyebrows are done, I went ahead and took a blending brush and just like blended a little bit on my eyelids just to act like a primer and cancel out anything because I look tired without makeup. Today, we're gonna be trying something new, so I don't really know how well this palette works. I did swatch a lot of them on my hand last night and they came out really beautiful. It's the new Carli Bybel / Anastasia palette. And all the colors in here are very warm, cool, a lot of shimmers, some peachy tones, rose gold, and purples. I'm gonna work with a lot of these colors and maybe add in one or two of my own. I do have a loose powder that I really wanna try from Colourpop, and this one is called Deep End. So blending my concealer a little bit acts as a primer for me. If you have more dry or like super oily eyelids, I would recommend a primer just to like have a little bit more hold, but this is pretty much all I do. So I love my Morphe Rose Gold Collection, of course. I got it for Christmas last year, so I definitely use it all the time. This is a Morphe R37 brush. I'm gonna use just like a cream matte base right here. something that's gonna help brighten my eye area. The base that's in the Carli Bybel one has a little bit of shimmer and it's a little too bright. So I'm just gonna use one that I already have and take this and blend everywhere, not too heavy. I just wanna set all that concealer to make sure it's not gonna move or look too cakey. So I'm gonna blend the inner corner, outer corner. And this one's from the Melt Cosmetics stack. You can buy individuals. This one is in Classic. And to me, it's definitely like my go-to with any eye look. I won't do anything without it as my base. I'm gonna use my blending Morphe R39 and we're gonna go in with Chai and Bybel, kind of combine both of these. Chai, Bybel. So if I were to take a swatch of each of these, one is like a warm tone, the other one's a little taupier. And I'm just gonna mix those and aim for my outer corner here and then blend forward a little higher than my crease just to help blend that out. I'm just gonna take my time with these so that way I don't have too much fallout and they layer on really nicely. And I'm just gonna layer them on until they're as dark as I want it to be. So I don't wanna go too dark with this eye look, but I want the shadows to show up. So nothing too crazy. I'm just gonna go about halfway on my own eyelid here and blend forward. So I'm just going back and forth in the eyeshadows and then mixing them so they create like a really pretty warm taupe kind of shade. I don't really know. Honestly, I'm just winging this because I saw this in Ulta and I thought it was pretty. But I really wish I had this when me and Tiara got married because this is probably the eye look that I would have done for my wedding. But I cannot wait to post photos on those. I pretty much did like an eye look that I always do at home just because I wanted to look like myself. I just took more time to do it because that way it looked nicer than rushing in the morning. Okay, so for this, it's pretty blended. If you feel like you need to blend a little bit more, go back in with a fluffier brush and something like a classic eyeshadow and just blend the edges a little bit. You don't need to go like too hard to blend things, but just a softer, diffused look. So I'm gonna take a little bit of my own concealer and I use the Born This Way Too Faced concealer. This one's an almond and I just honestly take a little bit to the back of my hand with a tiny concealer brush. This one's also a Morphe brush from Ulta. This is in the M421. And I'm going to carve a little bit of an open crease here. I'm not the most experienced with this, I'll be honest, because I haven't done makeup in a really long time and I want to try to get back into it. It's literally the only thing that I know how to do. I mean, my first job at 18 was Sephora and I stuck with it for what, like 5 years. And then, you know, I managed at a MAC store. That was fun. And then I just kind of lost touch with makeup for a little bit. So it's kind of been hard to get back into, but makeup is literal therapy and you know, I wish I didn't stop, but life happens sometimes and you kind of have to roll with it. But I hope that I can try to get back into it and make videos and make people feel better and you know, have my own type of therapy, right? Because you know, shit happens. So I'm going to be taking a little bit of this concealer, kind of creating an open crease. I really love that look, honestly. It looks easy to do, but it's really hard for me to do it. So I guess we'll try. What I like is going just a little bit above my own crease. I don't want to point too down because it does create a different look. I'm gonna just leave this open a little bit and kind of go with my natural crease, just like the shape of it, I mean, and then just keep extending that until about halfway. And that would be the area that I apply like a lighter eyeshadow. Whoops, finger in my nose. And I don't want to carve it too intense because we're not trying to do like a cut crease thing, at least not for me. What you could do is when you're done setting this and everything, you could take like a little tiny brush and dip it into a warmer or like a darker shade and then just kind of shadow this highlight area and it looks more intense, and that would help you create like more of a cut crease. So I'm just blending this. I'll take my finger and just kind of blend it a little softer so that way I'm not like smearing concealer everywhere. Yeah, so like this open part, I kind of just leave how my eye is. I don't want it too, you know, out or too much at a curve just because my eye doesn't really do that. And I feel like a good like in between will help it open up but not be too much at an angle is what I'm trying not to do. I'm gonna do the same exact thing the other side. With the same brush kind of wiped off, I am gonna go in with her lightest shade that has a little bit of shimmer called Bear. And I'm just gonna pat that over the concealer just to set everything and make it look a little brighter. Whoops, blend that. I'm gonna take that same brush that I used in the beginning, like the little blending brush. I'm just gonna blend that taupe, the Bybel and chai a little closer. I feel like that needs to be blended just a little bit more. And this is where I would add a little bit of pigment. So what you could do if you don't have a pigment on hand, you could try either her Boli or Moo. Boli has a little bit of a champagne pinky kind of look to it, and then Moo has gold. Boli and then Moo. I want to go in with a little bit of both, I think, before I set it with some pigment, just in case that pigment doesn't show up as much as I want it to. So we're just gonna try both of these. And with more of a dense blending brush, I'm just gonna pat this in very lightly. And what you could do is spray your brush with a little bit of a setting spray to make this more intense if you want to, but I will do that with my pigment. These look really pretty together. Just open up that eye area. I don't know if you guys can see that. So I'm gonna use some of this deep end pigment from Colourpop, and this has more of a rose gold warmer tone to it. I'm just gonna put a little bit on my hand here. I'm going to take a little bit of that pigment from the cap so I don't use too much. I'm gonna use my dense brush, that way I have enough to blend. And I'm gonna take my Dewy Set setting spray from Anastasia just to set it a little bit. And I'm just gonna spray this once, maybe twice, just so the pigment has something to hold onto on my eyelid. And I'm just gonna lightly press a little bit on here just to kind of see what it looks like. I just wanna make sure I keep blending this because it is very shimmery, and I wanna make sure my whole eye doesn't end up being a shimmery mess. So again, I'm just gonna keep going back in with Bybel and chai to make sure that this is where I want it. And I don't bring all the shimmer all the way back. I just want it in the front. So now that I lined my top lash line with a little bit of black and added a little bit of both of those eyeshadows underneath right here, just to give some definition, I am gonna finish the rest of my face. I'll go over a few of the things I do use, but I do wanna make a new video of my updated face routine because I am trying out a few things right now. So far, I've been using this 4th Ray strawberry face milk that I got from Colourpop. It's actually really freaking good. It helps a lot with my texture, which is my #1 main issue that I have with my skin, is texture when I put on makeup, texture when I don't have any makeup. So this is something that's been helping me, and it works really well with my foundation. So it's really light and creamy, and I feel like it would work really good on any type of skin because it doesn't leave a heavy residue to it, and it also doesn't leave you too oily or anything like that. It just kind of soaks in. So I'm just gonna apply quite a generous amount to my face everywhere and just blend it in really well so that way it isn't too heavy in certain areas. But I feel like it helps a lot with this cheek area. Oh my god, I'm so red. That's what happens when I wipe my face. I'm gonna take a little bit of foundation. It's obviously darker than what my face looks like because I do tan. I'm gonna use my, I guess this is an Il Makiage brush, 100 blending brush. It just looks like this. So I really love that shape for myself. And I'm just gonna disperse this all over my face before I blend it out. I just don't tan my face because I put too much skincare on here. And then this, I can really just blend it all in with this brush. Get around my eyebrows pretty well. And I will blend it a little bit into my hairline here so that way I don't have any white streaks in here. Yeah, it looks pretty dark on camera. It's all good. Matches the rest of my body though. I am gonna use a newer concealer. So far it's been pretty good. This is the Age Rewind Maybelline one, this guy. And this color is in 120 Light. So I'm just gonna turn this and apply pretty generously because I do have some freckles that I like to get rid of. Make this whole area a lot brighter. I feel like this is pretty spot on. Do a little bit here and some on my forehead. I feel like those are the areas that I pretty much get all the time. And then just blend that out. And I pretty much feel like that gives me the coverage that I need, just kind of like looking at it. I do have like a little like darker spots that maybe I can go in and just kind of touch up a little bit with a brush. Look at these little guys. Other than that, I don't have any really areas that I usually have to make sure I double cover up. This concealer can easily do like another coat and be like super full coverage, but I don't want that much coverage right now. So I feel like that's pretty good. So I'm going to set all of this with just some translucent powder, very lightly. I'm gonna take a little bit more and carve this out. I'm gonna go a little higher right here. Just a tiny bit. And this beauty blender is from Morphe. It's like the flat tipped one, so that way I can carve it a little bit better. I'm going to use a little bit for my nose. I'm just gonna carve that so that way it has a, say I'm gonna do some eyeliner here. Look crazy. Add a little bit of mascara in the meantime. This is the Too Faced Better Than Sex one, but the one with the little diamonds on it. And then I'm gonna go in with some liquid liner. I usually don't do liquid eyeliner looks, but today I am. And this is the, sorry if I butcher this, Huda Beauty liquid liner. It looks like this. And I didn't realize it was double-sided, so I guess one side you pull for pencil liner, and then the other side you twist off, but that makes more sense now. And this one has more of a brush tip to it, which is usually easier for me to create a wing. I also forgot that I was doing this because I normally don't, and I put on mascara before this. So I would do my liquid liner, then put on mascara, and I kind of messed that one up, but I guess we'll do this over some mascara. So whoops. Just gonna make sure I don't get too much because I'm not really the best at liquid liner. Kind of hard to see with mascara in the way. I don't want it too thick because I am adding some pretty full lashes. So if I do mess up, hopefully the lashes will cover it. It's not the best, but not the worst. So now that I have my liner, I feel like I can dust all of this off. Just gonna go in and tap a little bit of setting powder the rest of my face. Make sure everything's set. And then I am gonna go in with a darker setting powder from Too Faced. Pretty much just bronze like the perimeters of my face, so that way it leaves some room for actual bronzer and contour, but this helps me use less of that. I'm gonna go with a little bit of contour and just contour my nose a tiny bit. I did highlight this. Then I'm gonna go in with a bigger brush. This is my Morphe R2. And just tap in some actual bronzer in here. Just blend the rest of it. I'm gonna put my little beauty mark back there. Then I'm also gonna use a little bit of highlight. This is of course Champagne Pop. That's exactly what I want right now. A little bit on the nose, not too much. So I do have new lashes that I really want to try out. I've heard a lot about them. It's the Lilly Lashes, and these are the Faux Mink in Mykonos, and they're beautiful. I really hope that they are worth it because these are a little pricier than regular lashes, but I mean, the bands and how they're made and how they feel are very soft and really flexible. So I feel like I'm gonna love them. How I measure lashes is I'll take this without any glue and just kind of align the inner corner with the out, so that way I know how much I need to cut off, which is really only a little bit. And take little tiny scissors like this and just cut off a tiny bit because it sucks to accidentally cut off too much and then the whole lash is ruined. I'm just gonna measure them again to my eye. I feel like that's pretty good. And I usually like to put on my lashes with tweezers so I can just adjust them easier. And I aim right for the center. I'm just gonna adjust the back here. And then I can adjust the front. Leave it for a second and usually adjust with my fingers now to make sure they are where I need them to be. I mean, these are beautiful. There we go. So I have my lashes on, and let me tell you, I feel so different with lashes on. It really makes the whole entire look, I swear. As you can see, my cat in the background, she's watching too. And then I just went ahead and did a few little touch-ups here and there. I mixed Bybel in this Bowie Faux shade. It looks like this. Just a little bit for underneath here and a little bit on the outer corners just to give it some more depth without adding like a dark brown or a black to it because I want to keep it pretty soft. And now really all I need is some lip gloss and I'd be done. For this look, I don't feel like I need a lipstick or lip liner, so I'm just gonna go in with a gloss and I feel like that would be pretty good. But this is the Uncensored 2.0 lip gloss. This is the perfect color that I would go to all the time. So I'm just gonna put this on. And this is already so much pigment that you don't need a lip gloss or liner underneath. Or not a lip gloss, a lipstick underneath. Sometimes if they're really sheer, I will, but this is honestly just good on its own. And I got a few of these, but I don't think they're plumping, but they do feel minty. Like they feel fresh when you put them on. It's not sticky at all. It has a lot of pigment and it goes on really smooth. I do like this kind of applicator to where I can get in these little areas here on like the cupid bow and in the little corners too. I love it. This is the exact color I wish my lips were. But yeah, so this is, I mean, pretty much the completed look. I did want to add a few things to my hair, at least for this side, because I did do loose waves today. So yesterday, Ulta and Target, I picked up a few things. From Target, I picked up these little like bobby pins. And they're like little crisscross ones, rose gold, black, and then there's a white gold one. And these from Ulta, they're snap clips. These ones from Target were like $2. These ones from Ulta were like 12. So a bigger price point, but these are more bedazzled. Just kind of want to see what's gonna look nice because I do want to add like a little clip to accessorize. I'm just gonna put them both in for you guys to see this. Probably just put in like one because I don't want to go too crazy. So I'm just gonna put one of these little guys in here for an accessory. And then I'm gonna put in little rose gold crisscross, which I really like because it's very simple. Oh. I don't know if I put it in the right way. It looks cute. So it takes up some space and it looks nice to accessorize just a little bit without being too much, especially if your outfit is more casual, which mine is. That looks really cute. I think this would be my completed look. You can add two if you want. I don't know if it looks dumb, but I see some people have like giant ones that they just like stack and accessorize this half of their head and really slick it back. And it looks really nice, but I don't know how to get away with that. But this is the completed look. This is something that I will be doing for the holidays because it's easy. It looks like I had time and did something. And same with my hair because I usually don't do too much with my hair. I never really know what to do. It's in the growing phase right now. So it's kind of like at an awkward length, but like soft, loose waves. I really just straightened out all this and took like a giant wand and just like twirled into the wand to curl it all one way, brush it out, and then put something in my hair. And I feel like that's pretty low maintenance and it worked out, I guess. I hope you guys enjoy this, and I will be putting all the detailed products that I use for today that I mentioned in the details below. And then I will also be holding off on some facial products because I do want to go into another video doing highlight, contour, concealing, and foundation stuff that I do currently. I'm just testing out a few products to make sure that I can confidently speak to them because I don't want to give you a false review if it doesn't work out for whatever reason. And I hope to be making videos more often. I take long breaks between these things because my full-time job is brows and I'm working from very early in the morning sometimes to really late at night. Just kind of depends on my day. But I usually get really stressed out about making videos because I had like a whole table and lights and like a background, and honestly it was like a lot for me to really think about and be like, okay, I have to do a video. Okay, I should probably do something like this. But I want this to be fun and I want to have fun doing it. I don't want to let people down when like I get DMs or even emails sometimes saying like, hey, like I used to look up to you, and they would use like past tense things. So I feel like, oh, like maybe I'm letting some people down or going backwards. I don't know, but I want to do this and I want this to also be something that I do often. It's gonna take me some time to get in the swing of things because I'm not used to it. You know, I haven't been doing makeup on myself for a while, so I feel a little bit behind, but I'm trying to do more things that are current for today that make sense because some of the things that I do now, I've been doing for like 5 years. So I just want to make it as easy as possible to achieve any of these looks. I want to throw in different brands. So let me know in the comments different eye looks that you guys want to see, or any different focal areas. I do hear a lot about like skincare, brows, and face makeup and everything. I do probably want to do like eyelashes maybe, because I feel like that's kind of hard. And I see a lot of makeup artists not know how to apply their own eyelashes, and I feel like it's just a universal struggle. I'm pretty okay at lashes, I think. So I guess we will see. But thank you again for watching, and thank you guys for being patient, for those who have stuck with me since my like Tumblr makeup days, that have followed me from like my makeup posts and, you know, till this day, and always checking in on me and always being a supporter of mine. I really appreciate it, and it really helps me to want to make these videos and make you guys happy too. And I love doing it, and this was fun. So thank you again, and please don't forget to subscribe and give a thumbs up, leave a comment, anything. I hope to see any recreations on Instagram. I love to repost them as well. So thank you, and see you guys later.